Good day and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a corn and salsa stuffed pork loin chop. The ingredients for the stuffing is 12 ounces of frozen corn, thawed, a half a cup of salsa, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of cilantro or parsley, whatever you prefer, and 1 bell pepper, medium, small to medium bell pepper. Now the salsa is whatever brand you like, but you want a little chunky salsa. All right, so we'll mix this together. Put in our chili powder and cilantro or parsley, whatever you prefer. Now the bell pepper. Give it a good mix. Okay, now that that's mixed, we'll set that aside. We'll put a tablespoon of olive oil in our frying pan. Heat it to medium. While that's heating, we'll get our pork loin chops out of the refrigerator. Okay, I've taken our boneless pork loin chops out of the refrigerator. They're still chilled. While they're cold, it's the easiest to do this. You take and put your hand flat on top of your chop, insert your knife into the center with a sharp knife, and then just slice your way to the other end. Being careful not to go all the way through your chop. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of these and then I'll be back. Okay, now that we've made a pocket in our chops, we will fill them with our corn and salsa with bell pepper stuffing. Probably want to put maybe 1.5 tablespoons of the stuffing into the chop. Taking a toothpick on a diagonal in the chop to seal it. Okay, I'll do one more. Taking the filling, 1.5 spoonful, so you don't overfill it. taking your toothpick on a diagonal, to seal the chop. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of these and then we'll be right back. Okay, I finished stuffing our boneless pork loin chops with our corn stuffing. We reserve the rest for later. Now I will place the chops in our skillet to brown. Over medium heat. You can hear it's getting a good sizzle. To wash my hands. Now we'll take and brown those 2 to 3 minutes aside. As you can see, the chops are sizzling nicely in our frying pan. It shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes aside to get a little brown on them. So, be back when it's time after I flip them. Okay, I've turned the chops. They're getting a golden brown on one side. Now, we need to brown the other side to the golden brown, and then we'll move to our next step. Okay, our chops have finished browning on both sides. Now we're going to add corn and salsa stuffing, the remainder of it, over top of the pork chops. Plus we'll add 1 cup of chicken stock made with chicken bouillon. We're going to add the remainder of our corn stuffing over top of the chops. Now we'll add 1 cup of chicken stock made with granulated chicken bouillon. We'll bring to a simmer, cover and bring to a simmer, and we will simmer that for 15 to 20 minutes or until our pork is at a temperature of 160. They say you can do 145, but I prefer 160. They've changed the recommendation, but it's all a matter of preference. Well, I'm doing 160 for this. So it has to come up to a simmer. Once it starts simmering, let it go for 15 to 20 minutes and it should be done. In this pot over here, I have 3 cups of water with 3 teaspoons of chicken bouillon, a 1/4 teaspoon of red crushed pepper flakes, and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. which I'm going to add 2 cups of rice that I've rinsed and drained. This is a rice strainer. You can use this, or you can rinse your rice in a regular strainer. That's if you prefer to use a regular rice, but you can also use minute rice, any of those 5-minute rices. They work just as well. I prefer using regular rice and not the instant type. So I'm going to add to my boiling water, and then we bring it back up to a boil, and then reduce it to low and let it simmer for 15 minutes, and the rice will be done. Give it a stir. Bring it back up to a boil. Okay. We'll check on our chops in about 10 minutes to see how it's going. It came back up to a boil, to a simmer. I've turned the heat down to low. We'll let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes, and it'll be done. As you can see, it's simmering nicely. Still has another 10 minutes to go before it'll be done. So we'll come back and check it in another 10 minutes and see where we're at. Okay, our pork loin stuffed chops are done. It's been 19 minutes. They've reached proper temperature. So now I'm gonna plate it along with the rice, and I'll be right back after I plate everything. And there you have it. Stuffed pork loin chops stuffed with a corn salsa. Very easy recipe to do. And then we're serving it with rice. Here's the dish plated with some rice, a little of the salsa, and with the stuffed pork loin chop. Make a very nice dinner. Here's our completed dish. Our stuffed boneless pork loin chops stuffed with a corn salsa. We're serving it up with rice, a little of the salsa on the side with our stuffed pork loin chop. Today I made jasmine rice. It's very simple rice to make, but like I said, you can use any of the instant rices, Minute Maid, whatever, Walmart brand. There's a multitude of instant rices you can use. But once again, this is our boneless pork loin chops stuffed with corn stuffing, serving it with rice. Now if you like this recipe, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget the notification bell to let you know whenever I put up new recipes. And thank you for joining me in my kitchen. Enjoy your dinner.